It's always hard to tell like exactly when it will start. Oh, there we go. It is here. Welcome back, everyone, to Banlist review that I totally didn't almost forget about.
You're a dipstick.
Yeah, yeah. Is this how it feels to be you?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, so welcome back. Last time we did these forbidden spell and trap cards, finishing up all forbidden cards. So now we're at anything that's limited to one card. We're gonna see how far we get. So shall we just hop right in? Firespark?
Yeah.
Shall we hop right in?
Yeah, we'll hop right in.
Yeah, we're starting
Shall I
off
do
with...
the first?
Huh?
Shall I do the first one, or
Yeah, go ahead.
The first one? Okay, so the first one is Armageddon Knight. It's a dark attribute level 4 warrior monster with 1400 attack and 1200 defense. And an effect that reads, when this card is summoned, you can send one dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay. I don't really see why this is...
So, okay, I know about this card. This card came from the height of Dark Warrior decks. We covered a card from that earlier, one of the number monsters that's banned. This card was... Because there's so many archetypes that are dark, this was basically a free Foolish Burial for many decks. It set up the graveyard very well. The only downside is that you have to summon it, which most people didn't consider it that much of a downside. I still have to hide my taskbar, by the way, so I'm quickly doing that.
So is this gonna stay limited, or is it, or can we do it like semi-limited or unlimited now?
It's semi-limited, definitely not. This is not one of the cards that would make sense on the semi-limited list. You'd be surprised how useless the semi-limited is. But honestly, this card is too handy. Like, even though Dark Warriors are past their prime with Ronin gone, there were many other decks that were abusing the shit out of this thing.
Okay, so it should stay limited.
It should.
Okay.
Next up, we have Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. Yeah, Lady of the Eternal. For some reason, second time read it something different. I don't know why. It's a light attribute, rank 6 fairy Xyz monster with 2500 attack, 2800 defense, requiring 2 level 6 monsters, but you can also Xyz summon it by sending one Burning Abyss monster from your hand to the graveyard, then using one Dante monster you control as material. It transfer materials. If summoned this way, the following effect cannot be activated this turn. Once per turn, quick effect. You can detach one material from this card. Sorry about that. You can detach one material from this card, send one card from your deck to the graveyard. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck, ignoring summoning conditions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these are a lot of effects.
Yeah, I think I see why it's limited.
Yeah, well, that would make one of us. I guess it is a generic rank 6 that functions as a Foolish Burial.
Yeah, I think it's because it has so many effects that are all kind of good, and also the summoning from extra deck without summoning conditions.
I think especially the fact that you're easily gonna get like both activations on this. Usually with an Xyz monster, you're gonna activate this effect once before it's destroyed. This one is easily gonna last long enough to do it twice, because you can just do it on your opponent's draw phase. But so, yeah. Honestly, I don't think it's... I'm probably missing some master combo here, but I don't think it's worthy of limited.
Okay, so semi-limited, unlimited?
I'd say unlimited at that point. Again, semi-limited is very useless. There are a few cards that are legit affected by it, but most aren't. Especially not extra deck monsters. Anyway, yeah, I think this one could go to unlimited.
Okay. Well then, next card. Black Dragon, Collapse Serpent! Dark attribute, level 4, dragon type monster. with 1800 attack and 1700 defense. The following effect cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one light monster from your graveyard. You can only special summon one black dragon collapse serpent once per turn this way. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one white dragon Wyvern Buster from your deck to your hand. Now,
I'm just gonna make an executive decision. I'm also pulling up White Dragon Wyvern Buster because it's later on the list.
yeah, that's yeah.
And they're worth reviewing together because individually
Yeah.
they're neither are a big deal. There are many cards like that summon themselves like that. But anyway, White Dragon Wyvern Buster, a light level 4 dragon effect monster with 1700 attack and 1800 defense. It cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from the hand by banishing one dark monster from your graveyard. You can only special summon one White Dragon Wyvern Buster per turn. This way, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you add one Black Dragon Collapse Serpent from your deck to your hand.
Yeah. So, in my personal opinion, this is not that overpowered that it should be limited. I think it can be.
It is.
I'm
just gonna say it. It's free link fodder for 3 turns in a row if you draw one of them. 1 out of 6.
Yeah, okay, but I think it works better if you can have at least 2 of them, 2 of each, so you can.
And then you're waiting for 1 on 4 for 2 turns of easy link fodder. You have to realize most dual soul are settled on the player's second turn. So I can understand why they don't want these at free. It gives too much access to a very cheap link fodder. They can also function as Xyz fodder if it's necessary. And because light and dark are already the most common attributes used, that also does not play in their favor.
Yeah,
so
I was just thinking, like, you have the effect of add a Wyvern Buster to your hand and the effect of add a Collapse Serpent to your hand. And I'm like, that reminds me of the gadget effect, of which it only actually works if you have at least, or was it gadgets or was it? Yeah, it was gadgets.
Gadgets if they're normal summoned, I believe only.
Yeah, well, it reminds me of that effect, and I was like, yeah, that's actually only doable if you have at least 2 of each in your deck. So I'm like, you should have 2 of each of these in your deck as well.
Yeah, but the difference is gadgets don't special summon themselves.
That is a fair point.
That's the big difference, and the fact that you have to normal summon them, so you already lost your normal summon on a monster that isn't too great, that just searched another monster that isn't too great.
Yeah, okay.
But the monster itself is not too great, but it can just make a link monster. And because it says from field to the graveyard and it has no further conditions, if your opponent blows it up, you search. If you send it for synchro, you search. If you link, you search. If you super poly with this, you search.
If it's added back to your hand, you search.
Now, if it's added back to your hand, no, because that's not sent from field to the graveyard.
Well, if your hand counts as the graveyard.
Okay, maybe your hand counts as the graveyard because your cards die very quickly, but.
Yeah. I mean, practically once I pick up my cards, they're dead.
Yeah, pretty much, but. For most players, the hand is a separate entity from the graveyard. So yeah, these cards are definitely worthy of being limited, just because they are very easy to use, and they're dragons, they're dark attribute and light attribute, which are all very surprisingly useful things.
Well, is it your or my turn?
No, I read Wyvern Buster, so it's your turn.
Cyberstein. Dark attribute level 2 machine type monster with 700 attack and 500 defense. With the following effect: you can pay 5000 LP, special summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck in attack position. Okay.
This used to be banned.
Okay, but why?
Why? Because it gives you access to literally any fusion monster. If you have
Oh,
some
yeah,
way of circumventing the life point cost, you can do this 15 times.
Yeah.
And that here's the kicker. That has happened. There's someone who used this effect 15 times in a turn.
Yeah, I just forgetting that life points aren't a big deal anymore.
Yeah, to be fair, with this amount, normally speaking, it would be a big deal. If you have to pay this, you pay 5,000, you're not going to do it the second time because you're at 3k life points, and you're not going to stuff your deck with red medicines just to circumvent that. But now there's a card. You can, if you change the type to psychic and use the field spell Brain Research Lab, you don't have to pay the cost, and you can just keep summoning.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that combined with something like Amazon's Archer, which can let you attribute 2 monsters to deal, I believe, 1,200 damage. That didn't go too well. Let's just say that. It became an OTK, an FTK even. And, you know...
So, should we ban it, or can it just stay limited?
Currently it's not doing much, so I'd say let's keep it limited. But if it were to become unlimited, the strategy that does that becomes way too consistent. Currently the only inconsistency is Cyberstein, so keep it limited. It's fine there.
It is your move.
It's my move. Daigusto Emerald! A wind attribute, rank 4 Xyz monster, rock type with 1800 attack and 800 defense. Once per turn, detach 1 material from this card and activate one of these effects. Target 3 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 3 in the deck, then draw 1 card. Target 1 non-effect monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. I guess it's a rank 4 that allows you to recycle. I'm genuinely unsure why this is here.
Yeah, it's an easy recycle with an easy to summon monster.
Yeah, but
Easy.
there's other recycle cards.
So unlimited?
I think this could probably live to be unlimited. I don't know. Did like rank 4 spam abuse this somehow? I don't know. I'm confused that it's even on here. And especially summoning of a non-effect monster, that has never been too big a deal, like anywhere.
It is mine.
Oh snap.
Danger! Nessie, aka the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, Nessie is the nickname of the Loch Ness monster.
Yes, and I did. That's what I said. That's literally what I said.
Anyway, go.
It's literally what I said.
You say it like it's not common knowledge. So I was like, do I need to explain this? Did he just get it from the picture?
No, it's...
Just read the card, Firespark.
Yes, I'm gonna read the card. It's a dark attribute, level 7 aqua type monster with 1600 attack and 2800 defense. Following effect. You can reveal this card in your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses 1 card from your entire hand. Then you discard the chosen card. Then, if the discarded card was not Danger Nessie, special summon 1 Danger Nessie from your hand. And if you do, draw 1 card. If this card is discarded, you can add 1 Danger card from your deck to your hand. Except Danger Nessie. You can only use this effect of Danger Nessie once per turn.
Okay. Danger cards. They were an engine.
Were they dangerous?
They were very dangerous. If you, especially like these ones that have like an effect that they still do something good if they're discarded, meant that you had no hand disadvantage from using this. You activated its effect, you shuffled your hand, your opponent placed something for you in the graveyard, you summoned this and draw 1 card, so you weren't losing anything. Or you discarded this card and just added a new one. Another danger monster. So
keep it limited or ban it?
Well, if it were to go any lower than limited, people would start playing dangers again. Danger was really prominent. for for as long as they were semi-limited even.
But that does not answer my question.
So
Should
keep
we
it fucking limited. That's the
or
answer.
do we even ban it?
No, because current on 1, Nessie is too inconsistent to draw, and same for the other danger cards that are limited. Because I believe Jackalope, if I'm not mistaken, is also limited.
That's the next one.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because they're both called danger, so alphabetically speaking, they would be one after another.
Whoa!
But yeah, I keep it limited because the danger engine is still dangerous even today. Well, just well, we're gonna have to cover this. Danger Jackalope is a dark level 3 beast effect monster, 500 attack, 2000 defense. Reveal this card from your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses one card from your entire hand. Discard the chosen card. Then, if the discarded card was not Danger Jackalope, special summon one Danger Jackalope from your hand, and if you do, draw one card. If this card is discarded, you can special summon one Danger monster from your deck in defense. Except Danger Jackalope, you can only use this effect of Danger Jackalope once per turn.
So I guess this is the same problem as the previous one?
Yeah, only this one's even better, because instead of searching for a new one giving you an extra chance, it straight up summons one. Meaning you don't even need a second chance, you already have summoned the monster.
Lol. So keep it limited.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're at...
Well.
Hmm?
Okay. Next card. Danger Tutsunoko? The dark attribute level 3 reptile type effect monster with 1300 attack and 0 defense. The following effect. You can reveal this card in your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses one card from your entire hand, then you discard the chosen card. Then, if the discarded card is not Danger Tutsunoko, special summon one Danger Tutsunoko from your hand. And if you do, draw one card. If this card is discarded, you can special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Danger Tutsunoko once per turn.
Okay. What is the problem here? There is a 0% fail rate at summoning Danger Tsuchinoko this way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also, this card was commonly referred to as Danger Snack.
Yeah, but any outcome of the effect automatically means summon Danger Snack.
Yep. That's why Nessie and Jackalope were like the core of the Danger engine. Because they were the best.
I think this is even too good for limited.
Well, if you're not drawing it constantly, you can't build your deck around it. And well, if people can't build their deck around it, they really don't care enough. Then it's just a random free summon you can have, and that puts it at the same level as a card like Evil Hero Infernal Prodigy, which can also just special summon itself, guaranteed.
Okay, fair.
Like, the point of the Danger engine was actually that they discarded cards and that you draw new ones so you could build up your graveyard while summoning monsters. Anyway.
It is your...
Next up is Dark Grapher. Dark Grapher is a dark attribute level 4 warrior effect monster with 1700 attack, 1600 defense, and you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding one level 5 or higher dark monster. And once per turn you can discard one dark monster, send one dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. This is another limited from the Dark Warrior era.
Yeah, because Dark and Warrior are very, very common both.
Dark is very common, and Warrior has a ton of good support, primarily reinforcement of the army, which we'll get to later, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it has a special summon condition, which is okay. And, well, it's a graveyard setup machine, because it sends 2 dark monsters to the graveyard instantly. But yeah, honestly, yeah, it's not a case of Foolish Burial, easily. Which is something not a lot of people like.
even?
Huh?
Not even?
No, not even.
Okay, my move.
But on the question, should it stay limited?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. I am
Yeah.
not too sure what Dark Warrior, like what this card specifically would do in this day and age.
Well, maybe we can do it. Maybe we can unlimit it for trial.
I mean,
Then see
yeah.
what happens.
Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Next card. Duloran, Tiger King of the Ice Barrier. Water attribute level 6 beast type synchro effect monster with 2000 attack and 1400 defense. And you require one tuner and one or more non-tuner water monsters. And once per turn, you can return any number of face-up cards you control to the owner's hand. This card gains 500 attack for each card returned to the owner's hand by this effect until the end phase of this turn.
Honestly, this is a bit of a strange one because I'm sure that on its own it is no big threat, but I'm guessing there were several things it could combo with very easily. Cards that like Premature Burial, which is, though it's banned, it's still the most prime example for this kind of thing. Or Call of the Haunted. You can return a used Call of the Haunted with this, but not saying that's the reason it's banned. It's just explaining one scenario when you want to use this effect, because Call of the Haunted is not played in meta.
So, do we unlimit it or do we keep it limited?
I think it's better to keep it limited, just for the things it's going to combo with.
Okay then.
Next, also I just want to say the first thing I fucking thought when I read that name was DeLorean, like it's a fucking car.
The DeLorean.
DeLorean, time travel machine of the ice barrier.
No, not of the ice barrier, of the hill valley.
Anyway, next up is Dynamite Knight, the true Draco fighter. Water attribute, level 6 Vrm effect monster with 2500 attack and 1200 defense. I hate saying Vrm. Virm?
You know what's stupid about about Worm?
Well,
Worm is literally Chinese dragon.
Well, it's a separate type from dragon. Deal with it. To tribute summon this card, you can tribute a continuous spell or trap card you control instead of a monster once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect while you control this tribute summoned monster, you can take one True Draco or True King continuous trap card from your deck and either activate it or add it to your hand. Now, I've fought against True Dracos and True Draco, True King decks, and let me tell you, they're not fun because everything you do lets them search. So I think it's good that they have something on the ban list. Like, even though their entire archetype requires tribute summon, they play around it in such a way that it really doesn't matter. Half their cards even give you like additional summons as long as you make them tribute summons.
So we shall keep it limited.
Yeah, please, for my sanity, keep this limited.
My move. Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Earth attribute level 7 dinosaur type effect monster with 2600 attack and 0 defense. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon Dino Wrestler Pankratops once per turn this way. Quick effect. You can tribute one Dino Wrestler monster, then target one card your opponent controls before it. You can only use this effect of Dino Wrestler Pankratops once per turn.
Okay, so what we have here is an easy summoning condition, which sets up for Synchro, Xyz, or Link Fodder, and the fact of the matter is that it can also just be used to destroy stuff instead. Doesn't help that that's a quick effect as well. This card was a pretty famous little thing for a while, until it got limited. So yeah, its biggest sin is just the fact that it's easy to summon and very versatile because of that.
So we shall keep it limited?
Yeah, this needed a dino restore restriction, and it didn't have one. So keep it limited.
Okay. Okay. Well, your move.
It's Double Irish Magician. A dark, level 4 pendulum monster with scale 8. It's also a spellcaster. Its pendulum effect is once per turn you can target one dark spellcaster you control, apply this effect to it, then destroy this card. Once applied, double any battle damage that monster inflicts to your opponent this turn, if it battles an opponent's monster. And its monster effect is that it's always treated as a pendulum dragon card. If this card
I can see a problem here.
Anyway, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add one pendulum graph card from your deck to your hand, which you then use to add another monster to your hand. I believe Pendulum Graph Magician. I believe that was the combo with it, and the fact that double damage can be pretty good.
Yeah, but it's also because it's treated as a Pendulum Dragon card. You can use it in combination with the Magician, the
what's it called magician is what he said, by the way.
Yeah, the magician with scale 1.
Stargazer?
Stargazer, indeed. Because if you don't have a magician or dragon card, or pendulum, what was it? No, dragon or magician card in the other pendulum zone, its scale becomes 4. But
it was already a magician. So what does it becoming a pendulum dragon have to do with any of that?
That is a good point. I
I know what this is for. This is it's so it can be used for with Astrograph Sorcerer to make Supreme King's Arc.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's. That's what they intended it for, at least. They made like a bunch of these that are counted as Synchro Dragon, Xyz Dragon, and Fusion Dragon. But yeah, it is just a very handy combo piece because it doubles your battle. It functions as a good pendulum scale. It doubles your battle damage with one dark spellcaster, and it searches after it does that. Because even though that's the monster, even though it's the pendulum effect that destroys it, and the monster effect that requires it to be destroyed, in the extra deck it does not make that distinction anymore. So it will go off.
Okay.
So yeah, this card is better at limited just because it does have that kind of potential to be an easy searcher that has a good effect. Anyway, Firespark, it's all yours.
It's all mine.
You get to do the
Exodia, the Forbidden One.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you can read it.
I can read it.
Yeah, go.
Okay. It's a dark attribute, level 3 spellcaster type effect monster with 1000 attack and 1000 defense. And that matters a whole lot because it's exactly what you use it for.
Yeah, it's the best beat stick in the game, honestly.
Yeah. Its effect is, if you have right leg of the Forbidden One, left leg of the Forbidden One, right arm of the Forbidden One, and left arm of the Forbidden One, in addition to this card in your hand, you automatically win the duel.
Wow, Exodia! That's not possible! No one's ever been able to summon him!
Yeah, it's the most powerful card of all.
It theoretically is, because it's the only card that can cause a 0-turn win.
Yeah.
But does it deserve to be limited? I think it's just limited for making it feel special. Because running 3 copies of Exodia in your deck is a guaranteed brickfest.
Yeah, indeed. I was just gonna say, like, well, I think it's limited because you don't need more than one.
Yeah, but usually that's not a reason to limit it. Yeah, there are plenty of cards you don't need more than one of, and they're not limited. But this is limited because of its reputation, because of how many people know this card.
Yeah, but I think also because, you know, if you use more than one, like you said, you're gonna break out.
You're gonna brick more often than you win. You're better off running one. But that's not the reason it's limited. Yeah. We're talking about the reason it's limited, and that is just because of, well, its fame. Okay. There's no particularly... You okay? So theoretically, you would raise the odds of a zero-turn win, which could be annoying, but you severely, by even more, raise the chance of being stuck with 5 normal monsters.
So
You play just a set on a big tournament. See how that goes.
okay. Well, so I say we raise its availability as the only card in the entire game to 50.
50. Oh no! A deck that is only Exodia pieces. No, it could just go to unlimited. It wouldn't do anything there.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad for the game or anything.
But I think just for its fame, it can stay here.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
and to
so
prevent any new player from being like, "Oh my god, that's OP. Let's put 3 of each in my deck."
Yeah. Stupid. Like me.
I'd see you do it. That's the worst part.
Yeah. At least in my early days.
Aren't you the guy that tried to put 40 trap holes into a deck?
I mean, I was talking about like specifically Exodia, okay?
Okay. Anyway, next up is Gem Knight, Master Diamond, an Earth attribute, level 9, Rock Fusion monster with 2900 attack, 2500 defense, requiring any free Gem Knight monsters must first be fusion summoned, gains 100 attack for each Gem Knight monster in your graveyard, and you ban one level 7 or lower Gem Knight fusion monster from your graveyard until the end phase. Discard name, becomes that monster's, and replace this effect with that monster's original effect.
Yeah, but you made a mistake. It does not gain 100 attack for each Gem Knight monster in your graveyard. It gains 100 attack for each Gem monster in your graveyard.
Oh, Gem. Oh, wow. Oh my god, that's OP! No, honestly, it's all about the... It's about the effect stealing, which can be very good if you use it right. I think it's from like the time when Seraphinite was played a lot. I can't be too sure, because I'm not too familiar with why this card was banned, but I'm assuming it has to do with like the one that could normal summon. Huh?
You keep saying banned, even though we're on the limited list.
Limited, my bad. Okay, it's called the ban. Everybody called it the ban list, so very quickly say banned.
We're on the limited. We're now on the limited part.
I know. Anyway, I honestly I don't know why this card exactly is limited. I know Gem Knights can fully function with this thing at 1, but I don't know why it is at 1.
So you think it can be unlimited?
Just unlimited and get everyone mad that it's back at 3.
Just to screw with everyone.
Exactly. Anyway,
yeah, next one coming. GeneX Ally Birdman. And it's a dark attribute level 3 machine type tuner monster with 1400 attack and 400 defense. And you can return one face-up monster you control to the hand, special summon this card from your hand, but banish it when it leaves the field. It also gains 500 attack if the returned monster was a wind attribute on the field.
I think this was just another like often used Link Fodder card, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because you just summon something like Pancratops that can be easily special summoned, return it to the hand, special summon this, and special summon Pancratops again. You summoned 2 monsters without ever normal summoning.
So shall we keep it limited?
Yeah, just keep it limited.
Okay. You read the next one.
Ignistra Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer. It's a fire attribute level 8 dragon synchro effect monster with 2850 attack and no defense points. It requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner pendulum monsters. Once per turn, you can target 1 pendulum monster on the field or 1 card in the pendulum zone. Destroy it, and if you do, shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. Once per turn, you can special summon Draco Slayer from your deck in defense position, but it cannot be used as a synchro material for a summon. Okay, so
just to make one thing clear, now that we are in the modern rules and the Link zones are, or the link zones, what is it? The pendulum zones are no longer on the top of the field, but in the
Spell and trap card zone. If you place a trap card in it, it does not count as a pendulum zone.
It does not?
No. Only if there's a pendulum monster in it, or if the zone is still empty.
Okay.
So no, you can't destroy something, just a random spell or trap card from yourself. Anyway, the big problem isn't the fact that it destroys pendulum cards, it's the fact that it shuffles one card without targeting, which is a very, very good removal option. It puts it basically out of reach. You can't get it back from the graveyard, can't summon it from your hand. No, you have to draw or search it again. And on top of that, it just gets free summons every turn. And the downside is defense mode, and not as a synchro material. But guess what? Draco Slayers have a fusion and a Xyz as well. So, congrats, you've achieved nothing with this limit, with this limitation. So, should it stay limited? Yes. Any questions?
No.
No. Okay, so just a little heads up. We're gonna skip not the next one, but the two after that.
Yeah, because they don't have any effects.
Because it just be a repeat of why Exodia is banned. Because it's the same card, pretty much.
It's not banned, you deaf.
Limited. Fine. Can you read the next card?
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
I can. The
Prove
next card is Infernity Archfiend. It's a dark attribute level 4 fiend type effect monster with 1800 attack and 1200 defense. And when you draw this card, if you have no other cards in your hand, you can reveal this card, special summon this card. When this card is special summoned, you can add one Infernity card from your deck to your hand. You must have no cards in your hand to activate and to resolve this effect.
So, Infernities used to be like a meta archetype. I honestly don't know how they're doing right now. I think they're not very good because they lost all their good cards to the limit. Like their best cards at least. And this is definitely one of the top ones.
So do we keep it limited for that reason, or do we unlimit it because it has no use?
Unlimited because I want to play Infernities. I mean, Infernities have an actually neat downside, and the fact that you have to have no cards in your hand to do anything.
Well, you grab the oh, good.
Sup. Welcome, Allwell Lolgod. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I don't think Infernity is really going to be a big thing anymore, so Unlimited is fine.
Hey, I think I saw the episode with this card.
You saw the episode with this card?
Yes, I think so.
You've watched 5Ds?
Wait, is that 5Ds?
Yeah, Infernities are from 5Ds.
No, I'm talking about the next card.
Oh, the next card. Let me check. The next card is Morphing Jaw. It's one of Bakura's cards.
Ah, that's why.
It's an Earth attribute level 2 rock flip effect monster with 700 attack, 600 defense, and flip. Both players discard as many cards as possible from their hands. Then each player draws 5 cards. So empty your hand, set this, make it flip, draw 5 new cards.
Boom.
Boom, you just have 5 cards on after playing. And that is why it's limited. And that's why it should stay limited. Because hand refill, like the downside is that you refill your opponent's hand as well. But you're not going to use this when your opponent is at no cards. You're going to use this when you are at no cards and your opponent is like 5 cards. And even then, I'd still say it's a risky card. But it's a worthwhile risk.
Yes, it is. Okay, next. Night Assailant. Dark attribute level 3, fiend type, flip effect monster with 200 attack and 500 defense. Flip. Target one monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target. When this card is sent from the hand to the graveyard, target one flip monster in your graveyard. Accept this card. Return that target to the hand.
Like I'm genuinely trying to figure out what's wrong here. I'm guessing. Yeah, if you have two in your hand and you have some card that lets you send cards from your hand to the graveyard to deal burn damage, if you send the first one and then send the second one, you can grab the first one again and
Yeah,
keep that going. So it's an infinite loop card. That's why. I was already like, what, with Night Ascent, I have this card. It's not that good. Oh, so yeah, it makes sense on limited because on anything higher you could pull this combo again, or just keep throwing it away.
It's you.
Then we're at Phantom Sky Blaster. It's a dark, level 4 fiend effect monster, 1100 attack, 800 defense, and when it's normal or flipped summoned, specials an any number of Sky Blaster tokens up to the number of monsters you control. Once per turn during your standby phase, inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each Sky Blaster monster you control. Sky Blaster monsters you control cannot declare an attack the turn you activate this effect. Let me just check. Oh, there's actually one other Sky Blaster card. Wow. I didn't even know that. I thought there were no others. But anyway, obviously speaking, its burn effect is slow as fuck and not relevant. But being able to summon up to 3 tokens, you can't summon any more with this effect. At once, it was pretty good for Link Fodder. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is another pure. It's good Link Fodder card.
Well, then keep it limited.
Yeah, keep it limited. If it's too consistent, people are gonna abuse the fuck out of it again.
Hey, I used to have this card, but I sold it for quite enough.
Yeah, this card's quite valuable, like at all times, because it's good.
Was it Alpha? Oh, I believe I sold Alpha. I don't have Omega.
Alpha. Alpha is a effect monster.
Yeah. 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 Anywho, I had either Alpha or Omega, and I sold it, and I got money for it.
And I'm thinking it's Omega, because Omega is very valuable. Anyway, read the card.
I can read!
Okay, so can you stand away the person whispering it into your ear then, huh? I know they're there.
PS1. PS1. Frame Lord Omega. Light. Level 8. Psychic. Synchro effect. 2800 attack. 2200 defense. Requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner. Once per turn during the main phase, quick effect, you can banish both this face-up card from the field and 1 random card from your opponent's hand face up until your next standby phase. Once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you can target 1 banished card, return it to the graveyard. This card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 other card in the graveyard. Shuffle both that card and this card from the graveyard into the deck.
So yeah, what this does is it recycles your entire banished zone. I actually wanted this card for a while for FAs, because I can recycle my quick plays with this.
Then you should have bought it from me when I had it.
I don't know, I think when you had it I didn't have FAs yet.
Well, then you're a dick.
Yeah, anyway, it's pretty obvious what's good about this. It can also, when it's about to be destroyed by like Raigeki or something, you can just be like, yeah, banish it. Fuck it. There goes a card from your hand as well. Oh well. Oh well. So yeah, it can easily dodge. It can recycle itself.
Joey's favorite card, I think.
So anyway, should it stay limited? Probably. And honestly, I guess you could, if you have 2 on the field, you can use both effects at the same, all the effects twice, because they're once per turn effects. Anyway.
Next card is, I think, Joey's favorite card.
Joey never played Darkness Metal.
No?
No, you're thinking of GX here. Come on.
No, I'm thinking of Red Eyes Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Red Eyes Black Mantle Dragon he used one time using a card he stole from Bandit Keith, a character he doesn't particularly like.
Yeah, but he used Red Eyes Black Dragon a few times. He won that card in
Yeah,
a
Black
duel.
Dragon, but not any
Yeah.
of the metal dragons. Only used
No,
one time. Used black
that's
metal.
literally that's literally what I meant it to. Like oh wait, I was wrong. It was Black Dragon and not Darkness Metal.
No, darkness metal is from GX. They had a red
And I
ice
did not
user
see
there.
you.
Anyway, wait,
Yes.
it's my turn to read, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's your move.
It's Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, a dark level 10 dragon effect monster. With 2800 attack, 2400 defense, you can special summon this card by banishing one face of dragon you control. You can only special summon Darkness Metal once per turn this way. During your main phase, you can special summon one dragon monster from your hand or graveyard, except Darkness Metal Dragon. You can only use this effect of Darkness Metal Dragon once per turn. So this card, fun fact, has been errated to be nerfed to fuck, and it's still limited because it's still very good. It used to be that you could summon as many Darkness Metals per turn with its effect as you wanted, and that its revival effect was just a normal once per turn. Are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Physically.
Okay, because you keep being like completely silent when I say stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm physically still here.
Okay, yeah. Spiritually, he died from that explanation. But so yeah, it used to be stronger than it is now, but even right now, it's still easy summon and has a free revival on it.
Okay.
So very good card.
Well, so keep it limited.
Yeah, keep it limited or unlimited for one format just to see what the fuck would happen.
The next card is Salmon Great Gazelle.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was looking at the Forbidden One cards.
You should not look at the forbidden cards.
Hold on. The Forbidden One. Right arm, the
Oh,
Forbidden One is... No.
Okay, well, anyway, Salmon Great Gazelle is a fire attribute level 3 Cyburst type effect monster with 1500 attack, 1000 defense, and if a Salmon Great monster is sent to the graveyard, except Salmon Great Gazelle, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. The card is normal or special summoned. You can send one Salmon Great card from your deck to the graveyard, except Salmon Great Gazelle. You can only use each effect of Salmon Great Gazelle once per turn.
So, a combo piece of a lifetime. It's easy summoning condition and is a Foolish Burial on summon.
And therefore also Link Fodder.
Yeah, it was Link Fodder in a Link archetype and capable of making their Xyz, which was also hit on the ban list at one. Oh wait, isn't that? Hold on. Let me check. Yeah, it was used for the Xyz monster, which is banned by now.
So we shall keep it limited.
Yeah, well, maybe put it to 2, see what happens. Summon Great hasn't been relevant for a good while now.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's your move.
Servant of Endymion. Oh, fuck, I hate reading Pendulum Monsters. It's a wind attribute, level 3. Spellcaster Pendulum, skill 2. Monster with 900 attack, 1500 defense. With the Pendulum effect, each time a spell card is activated, place one spell counter on this card. When that spell card resolves, you remove 3 spell counters from this card, especially from both this card from your Pendulum and one monster from your deck with 1000 more attack that you can place a spell counter on, and if you do, place one spell counter on each. Its monster effect is you can only special summon Servant of Endymion once per turn. This card with a spell counter can attack directly once per turn. You can discard one card, place one spell counter on each card you control, and you can place a spell counter on. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your Pendulum zone and place the same number of spell counters on it that it had as a monster. Who's tired of hearing the word spell counter?
Me.
Okay, so for spell counter decks, specifically Endymion variant, this card is pretty much a god.
No,
It,
it's not a divine attribute, so it's not a god.
it was a god to those decks. Trust me. Like,
It's not a god because it's not a divine attribute, and it's also not Exodia. Exodia is the only god that is not a divine attribute.
you also have the Dark Gods, which are the Wicked Monsters, which are officially by the manga recognized, by the spin-off manga, are recognized as gods. You have the Sacred Beasts, which are also a type of gods. You have several cards that have the word god straight up in them, I believe.
Okay.
Anyway, but being able to summon any monster with 1,000 or more attack that you can place a spell counter on gave easy access to some of the best spell counter monsters out there. And the fact that upon destruction it just straight up goes back, and yeah, it just sets itself up again. And then on top of the fact that it can also place more spell counters with its effect, make it it's a full toolkit for spell counters.
So we keep it limited?
Please do.
Okay.
Well,
I am working on it.
no you're not.
Yes, I am, because it's Speedroid Terror Top, which is a wind attribute level 3 machine type effect monster with 1200 attack and 600 defense.
Okay. And hello? Hello? Flashback? I think I have Discord still on my first screen. I'm gonna turn off the stream real quick. Yeah, I can drag it to my second screen. Okay. Let me see.
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Sorry, it took me a second.
So what's the big deal? What is the big deal with this call?
Okay, so by the way, you cut out before you read the monster effect.
Oh. Okay, the effect is if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And when this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Speedroid monster from your deck to your hand, except Speedroid Terrorton. You can only use this effect of Speedroid Terrorton once per turn. Now, what's the big deal?
Free summon, free search.
Okay.
It's a bit of a double whammy, and Speedroids have a couple of free summons, so this thing is just kind of abusable.
Yeah, but you know, it's not as powerful as 500 life points for free.
Fair. But nah, this is something that allows you to play like for if you were splashing in a random Speedroid, you could just use this to make the draw odds so much higher.
Okay.
So keep it limited just to prevent Speedroids from becoming an engine.
Okay.
Spiral! Quick fix! An Earth Attribute level 1 machine effect monster with 500 attack, 400 defense, and if this card is normal or special summoned, you add one Spiral gear card from your deck to your hand. If this card's in your grave, then you can draw a Spiral Super Agent. You can discard one card, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field.
Okay.
This card can keep searching as many times as you can summon it.
Yeah, which can be a lot potentially.
Potentially, yes. And that is on top of the fact that spirals are actually pretty good.
So keep it limited.
Please and thank you.
Okay, well then.
Next
TG
card.
Hyper Librarian. TG Hyper Librarian is a dark attribute level 5 spellcaster synchro effect monster. 2400 attack and 1800 defense. And it requires one tuner and one or more non-tuner. And if a monster is synchro summoned, draw one card. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect.
Yeah, so if you were to summon free, and then you synchro summon, you draw 3 cards. This is on top of the fact that you would have drawn 3 cards from just summoning the third one. No, wait, more even, right? No, 3 cards. On the summon of the third one, you would have drawn 3 cards from just summoning these things. So, yeah, infinite draws in a turn as long as you can synchro summon. That's a big no-no.
Big
no-no.
This no-no is huge. It is the biggest.
There are bigger no-nos, but I think at 1 it's perfectly fine, because you won't get too much out of it. You're spending more resources than you're making. But at 3, you can gain more resources than you're spending by synchro summoning.
It is still huge.
Next up is Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms. Hey, Dragon Rulers again. We're back to these guys. You can discard this card, and 1 wind monster to the graveyard, add 1 dragon monster from your deck to your hand. You can banish a total of 2 wind and or dragon monsters from your hand or graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand or graveyard during your opponent's end phase. If you control this special summoned card, return it to the hand. If this card is banished, you can add 1 wind dragon from your deck to your hand. You can only use one Tempest effect per turn, and only once that turn. This falls straight in the same category as the other dragon rules we talked about. It's an easy summon, it's an easy searcher. And dragon is a wide category. Any comments?
No.
Like, I legit have to make sure you're here, because you do cut out sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
If only Cyberjar could come back. Not the best. Not the best idea. We talked about that.
Well, I'll just start reading the next card then.
Yeah.
Which is the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardish.
Hold on, I'm pulling up Google Translate for this. How does it pronounce Bardish?
I think it's Bardish. Well, I'll continue.
Hold on, no, we need to know.
Bardish.
Bardish.
Bardish?
Bardish.
Bardish. Bardish.
Bardish?
Bardish.
Bardish. Okay. Which is a dark attribute, link free, warrior link effect, start, with 2100 attack, and strangely no defense option, which is so weird for a link monster.
Don't forget to read out its arrows.
Oh yeah, the arrows. It is left down, right down, and right center. And it requires 2 or more dark monsters. And during your main phase, you can send 1 the Phantom Knights monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then set 1 Phantom Knight spell trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap card zone. And if a Dark Xyz monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, while this monster is on the field, except in the damage step, you can target 1 card on the field to destroy it. You can only use each effect of the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardish once per turn. Cannot be used as link material.
Okay, so the Phantom Knights. An important note: every Phantom Knights monster has a graveyard effect.
Whoa.
So sending a Phantom Knights monster to the graveyard is set up, and setting a Phantom Knights power trap card is set up. That's a double setup already. And they're splashable as fuck.
Splash. Like water splash 8?
Well, Water Splash 8, he's a terrifying dude. I don't want to mess with him.
Don't worry, for I, Fire Spark 7, will protect you from Water Splash 8.
But what if it's Water Splash 7?
Fuck. I hadn't thought of him yet. I totally forgot about him.
So anyway, the destruction effect is nice, but I think it's mostly about the Phantom Knight's double setup.
Yeah,
And the fact that if it was just for pure Phantom Knights, it would have been fine. It is not for pure Phantom Knights. It was used in everything.
Okay, I know for sure that the next card I did have and did sell for quite some money. Or no, I think I still have it. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you
Still
have
have
it. It's
Yeah,
Trishula,
the Synchro deck.
Dragon of the Ice Barrier. One of the most famous cards in the game.
Okay. Cool.
It's a water attribute level 9 Dragon Synchro with 2700 attack, 2000 defense, requiring 1 tuner and 2 or more non-tuners. When it's synchro summoned, you can banish up to 1 card from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. The card in hand is chosen at random. Well, this is not a once per turn effect, so if you summon 3 of these on one in your first turn, your opponent is going to play with only 3 cards on their turn.
That.
And there was a loop with this. I believe you needed at least 2 for that, where you could just keep making it. And if you can keep making it, then it's pretty obvious why it should be limited.
Yeah, it is.
This should have had a hard once per turn clause on it, but Konami is sometimes a dipstick.
I mean, some.
Anyway, it remains one of the most famous cards in the game. Let's move on.
It's a cool card. It's awesome. I like it.
Yeah, I only said it was famous. I didn't say it wasn't cool.
It is awesome. Okay. True King Nifosagi, the Disaster, which is an Earth attribute, level 9, Chinese Dragon, effect monster, 2500 stats.
Do you mean a worm?
Yes.
Oh, okay, worm. Phew. For a second there, I thought it was a dragon. No, it's a worm.
It's a Chinese dragon.
It's a worm.
It's
Come on,
a
man. It
Chinese
doesn't say
dragon.
Chinese dragon.
A worm is a Chinese dragon or a Japanese. Now I'm not sure, but it's it's a type of dragon.
I doubt it's Japanese, because, Yu-Gi-Oh! Comes out of Japan and they already have a dragon type.
Yeah, okay, so then it's a Chinese dragon. Anyway, it's an Asian subtype of dragon. So just dragon.
Anyway, just continue reading now.
Yeah. Yes, I'll continue reading. The
I'm done
effect
mocking
is,
you.
Yes.
For now.
If this for now, yeah, I was just about to say that. If this card is in your hand, you can destroy 2 other monsters in your hand and or face up field, including an Earth monster. And if you do, special summon this card. And if you do that, and both destroyed monsters were Earth, you can also look at your opponent's extra deck and banish up to 3 monsters from it with different names. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon 1 non-Earth Chinese dragon monster.
Do you mean
from
a
your
worm?
graveyard. You can only use each effect of the True King Lithosagim, the Disaster, once per turn.
So Lithosagim's biggest problem is the fact that it looks at your opponent's extra deck and banishes 3 cards.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought like, whoa, chill.
It is. Its condition. It is a condition, but it isn't very high. This was used, I believe, in dinosaurs, because dinosaurs have a lot of Earth monsters, and some even want to be destroyed by card effects, like baby Ceratosaurus. I believe it's called.
Keep it limited.
Yeah, keep it limited. Just prevent dinosaurs from destroying everyone's extra deck.
Wait, White Dragon Wife Buster has already been done, so Zodiac Trident.
Zodiac Trident is an Earth rank 4 Beast Warrior Xyz monster with a questionable amount of attack and a questionable amount of defense. You can't say I'm wrong!
R/technically the truth.
Okay, so it requires 4 level 4 monsters, which sounds explosively high until you realize you can also exceed summon Zodiac Giant by using one Zodiac monster you control with a different name as material. Transfers materials to this card, gains attack and defense equal to the attack and defense of all Zodiac monsters attached to it as a material. Once per turn, quick effect. You detach one material from this card, target one face-up card on the field, destroy it. So, to get an oppressively high attack on this is not very hard if you just use strong monsters. And the fact that it's a quick effect to destroy stuff does not help its case.
No, it does not.
Zodiac, just for your information, Firespark, was one of the most oppressive meta decks of all time, and basically ruled until the Link era came along.
So we will keep it limited?
Keep it limited, yes. And
Well,
we're at the last monster.
yay! So I'll do Zodiac Red Peer.
Let's be
Earth attribute level 4, Beast Warrior type effect monster with 0 attack and 0 defense. And if this card is normal summoned, you can send one Zodiac card from your deck to the graveyard. An Xyz monster whose original type is Beast Warrior and has this card as a tutorial gains this effect. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, special summon one Zodiac Red Spear from your hand or deck. Let me guess, all Zodiac Xyz monsters are Beast Warrior.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Zodiac in general is Beast Warrior. Yeah, I'm scrolling down. I only see Beast Warriors.
Yeah,
and
so
I see all of them being like, you can also Xyz summon this by using another Zodiac, so you can keep making a new one, and you just have to make a new one twice, and you can keep summoning Red PS, making a second Xyz monster on your field. So let's keep this limited, because limited it is absolute trash. Well, you can still send the Zodiac card.
There. Well,
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just looking at how many cards are left, because we're now starting to go to the spells and traps. But we're already in over an hour.
I mean, I'm fine with just finishing it up today. Just finishing up the list today, because I kind of also want to go back into making irregular reviews. So shall we just keep going?
Okay. Yeah, okay, we'll keep going.
Yay!
So,
a hero lives! If you control no face-up monsters, pay half your life points, special summon a level 4 or lower element or hero from your deck. That sounds very conditional. Yeah, honestly, you're correct. Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist or Stratos. It's one or the other.
Yep.
That is what people were summoning with this, and that is why it's limited. Because if you keep
the most powerful card in the entire hero, what is it?
Archetype.
Archetype. Thank you. Most powerful card in the entire hero archetype, Lady Heat.
No, I'll counter it with a red medicine. So
if I have multiple heroes on the field, I can nullify your freaking red medicine with my
Okay, ban Lady Heat. You can nullify red medicine very easily. But no, okay, so this card should stay limited because hero is actually a good archetype if played by the right people.
If played by any other person than me, yes.
No, okay, I think he can hand it to a few other people, and I see it screwed up worse, but...
Wait, worse than me?
Yes.
No!
Well, to be fair, if we take your old deck, then it's really hard to play worse, but... Anyway, yeah, this card, it is very handy, and life points don't fucking matter, so... Next card.
Called by the Grave, quick play spell card. Target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and if you do, until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monsters with the same original name.
Yeah, this was one of the most popular cards for a while, because it can counter hand traps.
Oh.
So, for instance, if somebody used an Ash Blossom against you, you would play this, banish that Ash Blossom, and be like, yeah, its effects are negated, I'm sorry.
Or, like, Um, Swift Scarecrow.
Nobody would waste this on a Swift Scarecrow.
I mean, but potentially you could.
You could. You could. You could also use a torrential tribute when your opponent summons a Karibo, but
Yeah.
Next up is a pretty famous card, Card Destruction. With this spell card, both players discard as many cards as possible from their hands, and each player draws the same number of cards they discarded. This card is
So refresh your hand.
it's a hand refresher for both players and a graveyard setup. I think in this day and age it's way too risky for most players to even consider. Unless your deck is very bricky, you would not even play this.
Okay, so we can do it unlimited.
I think this one would be fine unlimited. Just because yeah, it's handy. It's still handy, but you're giving your opponent more graveyard setup than you are getting.
Okay. Well, Card of the Mice, normal spell, and draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. During the end phase of this turn, send your entire hand to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 card of the Mice per turn. You cannot special summon during the turn you activate this card.
I did not remember the special summon clause, but let's see, about the rest. This card is mostly used in like lockdown strategies that don't require special summons, obviously. But those strategies were really abusing the fuck out of this card, because you could just empty your hand, then play it, draw free, and then draw free. You would see this most with, if it were to be unbanned now, it would be played in Mystic Mind decks, which I think people are fine if we don't power up Mystic Mine.
I think you mean unlimited.
Ah, fine, unlimited. No. Next card.
Okay. Change. Read the card, Groudon.
Huh, what? Is it my turn again? No, it isn't. It's your turn.
I read Card of the Mice.
Oh, right. I read Card Destruction. Sorry, I got confused. Chain Strike is a quick play spell card. You can activate only as Chain Link 2 or higher. Inflict 400 damage for your opponent times the chain link number of this card. You cannot activate this card if multiple cards of effect with the same name are in that chain. No. It's called Chain Burn. I'm pretty sure it's named after this thing. They could get like Chain Link 7 or so, at which point this did quite a bit of damage.
Okay, so keep it limited?
I think keep it limited, just not give burn decks any more fuel.
Okay. Dimensional Fissure. Continuous spell. Any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead.
This card just massively disrupts anything that isn't built around it.
Yeah, and obviously you play it in a deck that is built around it.
You play it in anti-meta decks, specifically. So, let's keep it limited.
Yes, let's do that.
Define Winds of Mist Valley. How godly. Once per turn, if a wind monster you control returns to the hand, you can special 1 level 4 lower wind monster from your deck.
Oh.
I am slightly confused on this one. I guess it's a easy summon, but I don't know how you would use this like super effectively.
Yeah, why is it limited indeed?
Yeah, that is my question then.
So unlimited?
I'd say it'd be fine.
Yeah, me too. Draco Malfoy Face Off.
Draco what face off?
Draco Malfoy.
The fuck is a Draco Malfoy?
A Draco Malfoy is an asshole who goes to Hogwarts and picks on a guy named Harry Potter.
Sounds like a swell dude. I mean, that doesn't sound very different from me, except for the Hogwarts part and Harry. If you replace Harry Potter with Firespark the Seventh, you know.
Yeah, but the difference is we're friends, and Harry and Draco aren't until the end of the last book.
I see. He should have tried that earlier. Be friends with the.
Even then, they're still not really friends. They're just not enemies anymore.
You know, and then Harry should try making friends with Draco, the Draco, whatever his name was.
Draco. No.
Because, you know, he just seems like a swell dude. Anyway, go read the Draco Face-Off.
Draco Face-Off is a quick play spell. Reveal one Draco Slayer Pendulum Monster and one Draco Overlord Pendulum Monster from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one of them for you to place in your Pendulum Zone or Special Summon, your choice. And you add the other card to your extra deck face up. You can only activate one Draco Face-Off per turn. So that's a very handy card.
It gives you direct access to one card and gives you hand ready basically for another.
Yeah, so keep it limited, I think. What do you think?
I think better keep it limited because I remember now, like the Masterpiece, the True Draco Slayer is actually a very decently good card.
Okay.
Next.
Sorry, Malfoy, you're gonna be limited.
Damn. He seems like such a swell dude as well. Draconic Diagram. It's a field spell. And all true Draco and true King monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. The first time each tribute summon true Draco or true King monster will be destroyed by battle each turn. It is not destroyed. Once per turn, you can destroy one card you control on your hand if you do add one true Draco or true King from your deck to your hand. This card was splashed in literally everything.
Splash!
It's like Water Splash 7, man. It was,
Shit.
Yeah, it's a horrifying experience, but anyway. Yeah, this card it's interesting. It should not be unlimited.
Okay.
Because it's an easy search. Destroying one card in your hand gives you more options than it gives you than it can be considered a cost.
Okay. Is fine by me.
Next card.
Emergency Teleport is a quick play spell. Special summon one level 3 or lower psychic type monster from your hand or deck, but banish it during the end phase of this turn.
That's a restriction. No, that is not a restriction. Nobody in their right mind would keep the monster they summon with this. It's just a free summon card.
Yeah, it is.
And it gives you access to a lot of monsters. So, how about we keep it limited?
Yeah, how about that? So, it's the final countdown.
This makes you grab your phone and play the final countdown upon activation. But it also costs 2,000 life points, and after 20 turns have passed, you win the duel. So, why is this limited? To not make Final Countdown stall consistent.
Yeah.
If you could play this consistently, it doesn't even have to be the best deck, it is just annoying as fuck. I've played against the Final Countdown deck, and I'm not even joking, there's this one guy that kept going to locals with Final Countdown. If you can't put down any negates against him, you just never have a battle phase.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding.
So we'll keep it limited.
Yep, definitely. Battle phases are nice.
Foolish Burial is a normal spell, and you can send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's it.
That's it. It's free graveyard setup.
Yep.
And the graveyard is just free real estate, let's be honest.
Basically, yeah. If you have the right deck set up.
If you have like any deck that was relevant in the past 15 years, then yes, this is a good card.
Yeah.
Next cards. Because there's not much more to say on it. It should stay limited. It's too.
Yeah, stay limited.
Anyway,
Let's go. Next.
Gateway of the Six. A continuous spell card. Each time a 6 samurai monster is normal or special summoned, place 2 Bushido counters on this card. You can remove Bushido counters from your field to activate these effects. Target 1 6 samurai 2. Target 1 6 samurai or Sheen effect monster. That target gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. 4 counters. Add 1 6 samurai monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. 6. Target 1 Sheen effect monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. At 1, this card is still causing problems. It's all about that second one, the 4 counter effect, because it's an infinite search.
Yeah, basically.
If you have 2 on the field, you literally, every time you summon a 6 samurai, you can search for a new one.
Which is why only 1 is allowed.
But even with 1, there are other cards that place Bushido counters upon summon. These are spammed to hell, and there's a card that searches this as well. An extra deck monster specifically. This card would not be misplaced on the ban list, like fully banned.
So actually ban it?
I would have kept it banned. It was banned at one point. I would have kept it that way. Infinite searches are never a good thing, and the 6 samurai decks are not very fun to face, because it's literally like, okay, I summon Cannon Soldier, Tribute, Special Summon, Search, Special Summon, Tribute, Special Summon, Tribute, and it keeps going like that, and keeps dealing damage every time it tributes.
So I'm already looking at the next card, and the first thing I notice is it's either poorly translated or the picture is poorly chosen, because that is not a golden sarcophagus. That is the Ark of the Covenant.
Do I need to explain it? It's it is the box of the Millennium Puzzle in which the Pharaoh's soul rested.
No, it's the Ark of the...
So in a way, no, it is legit the box where the Millennium Puzzle came in. Yugi has this box in the anime.
Oh yeah, those are birds and not angels.
Yeah,
it looks a darn lot like the Ark of the Covenant.
But no, it is basically from the anime the Pharaoh's sarcophagus, in a way.
Yeah, okay.
So yes,
yeah,
it is a gold sarcophagus. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, but I thought those birds were angels because if those if those are angels, then it is the Ark of the Covenant.
No, it's a sarcophagus, and it does kind of look like a grave, like an old-timey grave as well.
Do you even know what the Ark of the Covenant is?
From Indiana Jones, right?
No, Indiana Jones stole it from the Bible lore.
It's from the Bible lore?
Yeah, it's from the Bible, because the Ark of the Covenant is the box in which the 10 Commandments were put.
Ah, that thing. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's what Indiana Jones was looking for.
For the 10 Commandments.
And as Indiana Jones states, like he explains that the background story of it being where the 10 Commandments were put in, and also that an army carrying that the Ark of the Covenant is basically unbeatable, which is pretty much true according to the Bible. So, but this is not the Ark of the Covenant. This is indeed a golden sarcophagus.
Okay, well, can you read the card?
I can. It's a normal spell, and you can banish 1 card from your deck face up. During your second standby phase after this card's activation, add that card to the hand.
Okay, so
that's pretty much.
You abused this with Thunder Dragons.
Thunder Dragon?
Yeah, Thunder Dragons activate when banished, and that is why it's limited, because it gave them easy access to any effect in their deck.
Okay, so keep it limited?
Keep it limited. Well, to be fair, Thunder Dragons have taken a big hit with, I believe, on the Thunder Dragon Colossus, which is banned. you could bring it back to see what happens, but not much good stuff would happen. So yeah, so better keep it limited. It's not impossible to see it unlimited, but it's also very possible to see it limited forever.
Your move.
And it's another anime card. It's Harpy's. By the way, Goltarkov has technically appeared in the anime with a completely different effect.
A lot of these cards have completely different effects in the anime.
Hmm?
A lot of the cards have completely different effects in the anime.
Yeah. Very true. Anyway, it's Harpy's Feather Duster. Destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls.
Boom.
So very easy reason why this used to be banned, because of course it is the prime way to get rid of your opponent's back row. Immediately, no cost, nothing attached. It sits perfectly fine at as someone who plays a lot of back row, I find it a little bit... Maybe it should be banned again. No, I think it's limited. It sits perfectly fine. I honestly don't want to see it any higher, because it is in fact like a death sentence for back row players.
Okay, then we'll go to the next card, which is Infernity Launcher, a continuous spell. And once per turn, you can send one Infernity monster from your hand to the graveyard. You can send this card to the graveyard, then target up to 2 Infernity monsters in your graveyard. Special summon them. You must have no cards in your hand to activate and to resolve this effect.
Bring 'em back! Bring 'em back!
What?
I want to see Infernities back. Infernities, if they ever get unbanned, it's actually something I want to build. Unlimited. Because with both Launcher and Archfiend limited, they're pretty hard to play. But if they got back either of those, they should be playable. And it should be very...
So make it unlimited?
I would like to see this unlimited.
Okay.
Just so I can... Because the guy that used this in the series is one of my favorite characters.
Okay. Well, your move.
Now you've heard of Instant Ramen, but now it's Instant Fusion. It's a normal spell card. Just add 1,000 life points and you get any level 5 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck. But it can't attack and it's destroyed during the end phase. This is treated as a fusion summon. You can only activate 1 instant fusion per turn. Now Firespark, why would this be banned? Limited.
Well, first off, life points don't matter.
Correct. So the cost is negligible. And what would be the other reason?
I think you can work around the destruction effect of your fusion.
Okay, so the straight up way is Synchro setup, Xyz setup, Link setup, and if the fusion monster is sent to the graveyard, because it is treated as fusion summon, you can revive it and then it can attack and not get destroyed.
Oh yeah, it must first be fusion summoned. If it's first fusion summoned, you can special summon it from the extra deck usually.
From the graveyard, yeah.
The graveyard.
Yeah, you can usually fusion summon it from the extra deck, you know. But yeah, the fact that it's treated as a fusion summon is just the icing on the cake. It's mostly the free setup that everything gets from this.
Okay.
Well, cheap setup, not technically free, but... Next card!
Okay, Into the Void is a song by Kiss, which is pretty cool.
I'm also pretty... No, wait, it's... Yeah, it's your turn to read. Go ahead.
Yeah, So, this song by Kiss is a normal spell, and if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, draw 1 card, and if you do, during the end phase of this turn, discard the entire hand. So, that's graveyard setup. Pretty much free.
Well, the bigger problem is, it is basically a non-existent card in your deck. If you draw this, you can play it, draw 1 card. dealing essentially one card less in your deck. Most people just empty their hands before the end phase. It's especially bad if you face like Solitaire Exodia, which, if you remember from when you turned off the ban list yesterday, or was that's the kind of shenanigans they wanted to prevent with this limit.
Okay, so we keep it limited.
Keep it limited because nobody likes a Solitaire Exodia.
Okay, good move.
Match Myth Breaker Field. A field spell. Activate this card at the start of main phase 1 or 2 during each player's main phase 1. Monsters in the field cannot be destroyed by their opponent's card effect. Also, neither player can target monsters their opponent controls. You cannot activate or set field spell cards. Now this is an interesting one because you can just set up your field with like big negates and all that. Play this card at the start of your main phase 2, and then be like, yeah, dude, you can't target my shit. Fuck you.
Well, fuck you too.
But yeah, this is like one of those omni protection cards, which is not very fun to face. Because if you just play a deck with high attack power and you play this, your opponent is going to be, well, pretty miffed. Because they can just go to main phase 2 to destroy your cards and target them. So but honestly, I think especially with Terraforming and Metaverse gone, I think this is fine at 3. It's still good, but it's not broken in my opinion.
So you can do it at 3?
I think 3 would be fine.
Okay. Next card. Mind Control. Normal spell. Target one monster your opponent controls. Until the end phase, take control of that target, but it cannot declare an attack to or be tributed.
Free takeover!
Yeah, free takeover, free link fodder, synchro fodder, seize fodder.
Yep, specifically link fodder, of course, but because that is the easiest to do, but synchro is also quite easy. Or, you know, tribute fodder, it's the one thing it's not.
That's the only thing that it's not.
But yeah, it
and
is.
the other fodder is.
But yeah, this card was made before Big Extra Deck. When the extra deck was only fusion monsters, so at that point it was no problem. Nowadays it's a big problem.
Yeah, so keep it limited.
Yeah, keep it limited, please. Next up, Monster Reborn, or Reborn the Monster, as it was called in one episode.
Yeah. One episode, not the entire anime.
No, at some point in the anime they properly referred to it as Monster Reborn. I'm pretty sure it was just one episode where they referred to it as Reborn the Monster.
I thought it was multiple episodes, but okay.
It was not, at least not the entire anime. Target a normal spell card. Target one monster in either graveyard. Special summon it. This is just an easy summoning card. It is generic. It can be used in anything.
Yep.
Keep it limited. Just because it's too easy to use. Next card.
1 Day of Peace, which is
never an option, honestly.
Christmas Day 1914 is a normal spell. Each player draws one card, and neither player takes damage until the end of the opponent's next turn.
So the first problem is that peace was never an option.
No, on the 25th of December 1914 or 15, I think 14 though, it was.
I mean, a goose on the internet told me something extremely different.
Yeah, but that goose on the internet wasn't alive on the 25th of December 1914, I think.
Can you prove it?
What? The internet didn't even exist yet, so the goose on the internet did not either.
Well, maybe the goose existed, but it just wasn't on the internet yet, huh? Thought about that?
Well, then the goose
okay, but
wouldn't
anyway,
have been alive during the time of color pictures, which means it couldn't have been, the picture couldn't have been taken in time for it to have You know, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but
You know
that
what I'm
doesn't mean
trying
the
to
goose didn't exist. Duh. Okay, but anyway, why is this limited?
say.
Solitaire Exodia, again. It's another free draw card. This one comes with the benefit of not dying for an entire turn.
Yep.
This is something used in Exodia mostly, but you could use it in other decks. If you're just going first and you play this, you get an extra card. And you don't die. The big downside to this one is that each player draws one. So it is a bit worse than the usual draw ones, but it's still not terrible.
Is it my move to read or is it your move?
It's my turn to read.
Your mother.
1-for-1. It's a normal spell card that sends one monster from your hand to the graveyard and special summons one level 1 monster from your hand or deck, giving you free range access to any monster with 1 star on it.
Yep.
Let's keep that limited. To not have to ban a million level 1 monsters.
You don't? Okay, so Fulminous is a normal spell, and you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls.
What the fuck is Fulminous?
It's Latin for lightning, and since Raigeki is Japanese for lightning, I thought Fulminous is just as good.
Nah, I'm a weeb. It has to be Japanese.
well, I'm interested in science, so it has to be Latin.
Well, if you're interested in science, go watch Dr. Stone. Good anime. Go check it out. Okay, anyway, why is this limited? It is free destruction. Free, unconditional destruction.
Which means limited, please.
Which, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's keep it limited, though, so it's not too consistent.
Yeah. Okay. Then, your move.
Reasoning. A normal spell card. Your opponent declares a monster level from 1 to 12 excavated cards from the top of your deck until you excavate a monster that can be normal summoned or set. Then, if that monster is the same level as the one declared by your opponent, send all excavated cards to the graveyard. If not, special summon the excavated monster, also send the remaining cards to the graveyard.
So that's potential free summoning.
It's high potential free summoning plus graveyard setup.
Yeah.
Though you can't send a lot of monsters with this, that's the downside, but if you play against a stranger, you don't know what's in their deck, and if they have a varied level deck, you never know what they're gonna get next. Yeah. So the free summon was pretty guaranteed. So yeah, let's keep that limited.
I draw. I play Reinforcement of the Army. With this normal spell, I can add 1 level 4 lower warrior monster from my deck to my hand.
Okay, free search! Yeah! Let's keep that limited. It's a free generic searcher.
I end my turn, it's your move.
Huh, you think your Reinforcement of the Army is any match for my Salaman Great Circle? It's a quick play spell card. I can activate one of these effects. I either add 1 Salaman Great monster from my deck to my hand, or target 1 Salaman Great Link monster that I control that was link summoned using a monster with the same name as the material. That link monster is unaffected by my opponent's effects this turn. My monster affects this turn, except its own. You can only activate 1 Salaman Great Circle per turn. It's another case of free searcher. This time it is actually archetypal, but it's a very good archetype. It really did not need a free searcher.
I'll keep it limited?
Keep it limited. Oh, yeah, keep it limited. That is something that that should never be like unlimited.
Okay. It's my move. I draw. And I play the quick play spell, Scapegoat. I can special summon 4 sheep tokens, Beast, Earth, level 1, attack 0, defense 0 in defense position. They cannot be tributed for a tribute summon. You cannot summon other monsters the turn you activate this card, but you can normal set.
Use this during your opponent's end phase, and you have 4 monsters worth of Link Fodder. Firewall Dragon said hello.
Yup.
So let's keep that limited. When it was first brought
Yes.
out, just to be clear, this card was absolute shit. Currently it's good.
Okay, it's your move.
Let's see, next up is the quick play spell card, Set Rotation. Set 2 field spells with different names from your deck on the field. One in your field and
You're
one in your opponent's
skipping
field.
one.
Wait, am I
You're
skipping?
skipping one.
Am I? Oh yeah, I'm skipping Seka's
Yeah,
Light,
you're
my bad. I'm sorry.
You shall never be forgiven.
Anyway, if you have no spell or trap cards in your graveyard, draw 2 cards. Also, for the rest of this duel, you cannot after you activate this card, you cannot activate spell or trap cards or effects except Seka's Light. You can banish this card from your graveyard to reveal 1 monster in your hand. Shuffle it into the deck, then draw 1 card. You can only use each effect once per turn. With all these restrictions, it was still played. Like, its restrictions are ridiculous, and it was still good. This just shows you how good draw 2s are.
So keep it limited.
Keep it limited.
Okay, so now I will do Set Rotation.
Go ahead.
Which is a quick play spell, and I can set 2 field spells with different names from my deck to the field, one on my field, one on my opponent's field, and while either of those cards remain set on the field, neither player can activate or set other field spells.
Yeah, you can theoretically force your opponent into activating a terrible field spell like Seal of Orichalcos. Or a field spell that has a harsh condition to activation. Meaning you lock the other player out of field spells. The downside is you lock yourself out, but you're probably not worried about that if you're the one causing this mess. Keep that shit limited. Don't worry, we're almost through the spell cards, and after that it's just a few more cards.
Okay, well.
It's Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones. Quick play spell. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, special summon 1 Sky Striker Ace token. Level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense. In defense position. Which cannot be tributed. And if you have 3 or more spell cards in your graveyard, when this effect resolves, the tokens attack and defense become 1500 instead.
Oh shit.
So this is mostly this was limited. Most of the reason that Sky Striker is was very good and very splashable. So you would see 3 copies of this in every deck. You would see 3 copies of one of the banned cards we covered, Mobilize Engage, in every deck. And 3 copies of the next limited card, which you can go read.
Okay then. So keep it limited?
Keep it limited. Yeah, because I'm gonna cover like the entirety of Sky Strikers, maybe after the next card, because you know. Otherwise, I just have to fall in a repeat. So go read.
So Sky Striker Mecha Modules Multi-Roll. Continuous spell. And once per turn you can target 1 other card you control, send that card to the graveyard. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to your spell card activations for the rest of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. You can only gain the previous effect once per turn. Once per turn, during the end phase, you can set Sky Striker spells with different names from your graveyard up to the number of Sky Striker spell cards you activated this turn while this card was face up on your field, but banish them when they leave the field.
Okay, so Sky Strikers were very quick, very consistent, very resource buildy. And this card made it so you could not counter them. So you were more than... And it recycles like a motherfucker. Please keep that limited.
Okay. I will.
Good. Now, this is a card that makes you truly believe in the heart of the cards. Slash Draw! Discard 1 card. Send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard, equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Then draw one card and show it. Then if it was slash draw, sorry about that, send it to the graveyard. And if you do, destroy as many cards in the field as possible, and inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. If the card you drew was not slash draw, shuffle cards from your graveyard into the deck equal to the number of cards sent from your deck to the graveyard by this effect. You can only activate one slash draw per turn. So, there are decks that can place cards in their deck in specific positions. Now, if you made sure your opponent controlled one card, you controlled 3, and made sure that the second card in your deck was slash draw, which was something people were doing, you have a guaranteed OTK.
Okay.
Yeah, if it isn't for deck manipulation, it's still just a good card, because you can massively set up the cards in your grave that you want and take out the cards that you don't want there.
Well, I trusted in the heart of the cards, and the heart of the cards have guided me well, because I have drawn Spiral Resort, a field spell. Your opponent cannot target other spiral cards you control with card effects. And once per turn, you can add one spiral monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, during your end phase, shuffle one monster from your graveyard into the deck or destroy this card.
This is like another case of Spiral being Spiral. This card has like no weaknesses.
It does not.
And this is on top of the fact that, again, it's a good archetype. It gets a free Surge, free Recycle, and gets protection all from one card, which was searchable within the archetype easily as well.
Therefore, keep it limited?
Therefore, keep it limited.
Okay then.
Please and thank you. Then it's time for Symbol of Heritage.
Welcome.
It's an equip spell. You can only activate when there are 3 or more monsters with the same name in your graveyard. Select one, special summon, and equip it with this card. When this card is destroyed, destroy the equipped monster. Okay, I'm getting this. If you can bounce this back to your hand, which there are cards to do that, you can reuse it.
You can do a loop.
You can do the loop-de-loops.
Well, then keep it limited.
Keep it limited. I think it's fine there.
Well then, I play Terraforming, which allows me to add one field spell from my deck to my hand.
Already good for literally every deck, because every deck had field spells by now. And this got worsened by the fact that Mystic Mine became a thing.
So keep it limited?
Keep it limited, because, again, people don't want to see Mystic Mine buffed.
Okay, well, your move.
Trickstar Light Stage! It's a field spell. When it's activated, you can add one Trickstar monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, target one set card in your opponent's spell trap card zone. While this card is in a field zone, that set card cannot be activated until the end phase, and your opponent must activate it during the end phase, or else send it to the graveyard. Each time a Trickstar monster inflicts battle or effect damage, you inflict 200 damage to your opponent. This is another case of free search. Bonus, it's not once per turn.
Shit.
So, a very good searcher for a decent archetype at the time.
Yeah, so keep it limited?
Keep it limited, yeah.
Well, Upstart Goblin.
You're an upstart.
It's a normal spell, and I can draw one card, and then my opponent gains 1,000 life points.
Oh my...
I suppose this is useful in Exodia decks.
Yes, this is... Again, this is... Life points don't matter, remember that. And you have a card that straight up draws a new card. So you're essentially... if you're playing one of these, you're essentially playing a 39 card deck. If you're playing 3 of these, you have a 37 card deck. If you turn off the ban list completely, anyone's gonna run this 3 times for Exodia, yes. This is a card that wasn't only popular in Solitaire Exodia. This was popular in literally everything, just because it's handy. If you didn't
Well,
know what to put in as like the last card, you could just put this in.
so we keep it limited, and
Keep it.
you do the last spell.
And for the last spell, we have Zodiac Barrage. You can target one face-up monster, face-up card you control. Destroy it, and if you do, special summon one Zodiac monster from your deck. You can only use this effect of Zodiac Barrage once per turn. If this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Zodiac Xyz monster you control. Attach this card from your graveyard to that Xyz monster as an Xyz material. So yeah, whatever you're destroying, you're not going to care about, or it's going to be a grave. It's going to float into something. And getting a summon off of that, yeah, that's very good. And again, Zodiac is no pushover, so it's probably best that it stays limited.
Okay.
Well, Farspark, why don't you kick off the trap cards?
I kick off the trap cards with Imperial Order, which is a continuous trap, and I negate all spell effects on the field, and once per turn during the standby phase, I must pay 700 life points. This is not optional, okay? Remember that! It's not optional!
No.
Or this card is destroyed, so it is an option, only the result
No,
would
because
be
if
that
you have to pay 700 until you are unable to pay 700, at which point it is destroyed. Yeah, so, do I need to explain why negating every spell card is a bad thing?
You do not.
Okay, thank goodness. Just for anyone who doesn't know, spell cards are a pretty core of the game. Next up is Macrocosmos. It's a continuous trap card. When this card resolves, you can special summon Helios, the Primordial Sun. And I see that's already a free summon from the hand or deck. Wait, wow, 1 second effect. When this card's on the field, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Who cares about that?
So keep it limited?
Keep it. No, yeah. Well, just to be clear, I'm joking, of course. Summoning Helios is a waste of time.
So do not keep it limited?
Okay, can you let me fucking finish? Because it has a second effect, which is basically Dimensional Fissure on steroids. So let's keep that limited, considering banishing everything ruins any graveyard setup. Any graveyard setup.
Okay. Well, I play Magical Explosion, which
Oh,
is
get
a
down!
normal trap.
Sorry, there was an explosion.
Okay. Well, that's a normal trap, and I activate it only while I have no cards in my hand. And I inflict 200 damage to my opponent, which is the most powerful move I could ever do, for each spell card in their graveyard. Or in my graveyard.
Yeah. So,
If I have a grave with like 20 spell cards...
Oh god, Skyshark would have a ball with this. And the fact of the matter is it's not hard once, so if you have 3 of these, you can do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. So, which is why it is limited.
Yeah, this is just another super from the burn decks, I guess, and it's very good.
Okay, so...
Anyway, Firespark, we're done with the casual verse. We're in the metaverse! You take 1 field spell from your deck and either activate it or add it to your hand. Now...
That's instant field spell.
That's instant... Well, not instant, because you have to set it and then end your turn. But it is the ultimate way to set up Mystic Mine! It's going to keep coming up because it's that good, for the ones wondering. But yeah, just being able to do that on your opponent's turn, you play some restrictive spell card against them, basically, on their turn.
So we keep it limited?
Keep it limited, yes.
Okay, well then, Red Reboot is a counter trap. And when my opponent activates a trap card, negate the activation, and if you do, set that card face down. Then they can set 1 other trap directly from their deck. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent cannot activate trap cards. You can activate this card from your hand by paying half your LP.
So, hey, you play trap cards? Go fuck yourself. The card.
Yeah.
I
Basically.
I hate this thing. With a passion.
Okay. Which is why it's limited, I guess.
Ban it immediately.
And
I wanted to see it banned because I like playing trap cards, and trap cards are already on like they're on the backlog for people. People don't want to play trap cards because they're so bad, because they're too slow. You can see by the fact that there's not even half as many trap cards on the banned and limited list together as there are banned spell cards. So yeah, I honestly don't think this card is very fair to anyone that does like to use a trap card. Anyway, next up is Skill Drain. Activates by paying 1,000 life points. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters on the field while they are face-up on the field, but their effects can still be activated.
hello?
Huh?
Hello?
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 Hi.
Hi. Did you want to say anything?
No, I just disconnected again
Oh, okay.
for seconds.
Oh, I just raged a little bit more on Red Reboot and then told you that you can activate this card by paying 1,000 life points and negate the effects of all face monsters on the field while they're face on the field, but their effects can still be activated.
Okay.
So yeah, effect monster, even more than spell cards, effect monsters are at the core of this game.
So keep it limited?
Keep it limited. If this becomes consistent, it's going to lock out too many decks.
Okay, well, the last card.
Also,
Is
Konami
Wall
censoring
of-
horns because horns are a bad thing.
Okay. Anywho, the last card is Wall of Revealing Light, which is a continuous trap. And I can activate it by paying any multiple of 1,000 life points. Monsters my opponent controls cannot attack if their attack is less than or equal to the amount I paid. So I can basically just lock out my opponent altogether.
So this prevents the opponent from attacking, but I don't think this warrants being limited.
Oh.
As much as life
So
points
just-
don't matter, you're paying like 3,000 or 4,000 for this thing, which is, getting a bit high, and it doesn't stop your opponent from destroying it. It doesn't protect itself in any way. So
Okay, so
it gets
unlimited?
unlimited. It will be fine.
Okay, well then you kick off the semi-limited.
We're kicking off the semi-limited with probably one of the only cards that makes sense to ever make semi-limited, which is Destiny Hero Malicious, a Dark Warrior, level 6 monster with 800 attack and defense. And you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon one Malicious from your deck. This is again from the Dark Warrior times, and if it's at 3, you can send one to the graveyard, banish it, summon another, use the other for Link, then banish the other to summon a third one. Essentially creating 2 free summons from one mill.
Which is why it's semi-limited.
Yeah, on semi-limited it makes sense because you can only get one summon out of it without investing additional resources.
And fully limiting it would make no sense because then the effect would be
but it no sense to ban this, and limiting it, you could do that. That's the same as what happened to Slash Draw, where its effect basically gets just fuck it, doesn't work.
Okay, well, last card ever.
The last card of this
King
ban list review
is the True King's Return, which used to be limited. I think I just saw it.
Yeah.
It is now semi-limited because it's a continuous trap. And if this card is sent from the field in the air, can I still talk?
No, you can't.
If this card is sent from the spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, you can target one monster on the field, destroy it. You cannot activate the following effects of True King's Return in the same chain. You can target one True Draco or True King monster in your graveyard, special summoned in defense position. Also for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon. Or, during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon one True Draco Malfoy or True King monster face up. You can only use each effect of True King's Return once per turn.
So no touch has the same chain, so you can activate the effect 1 on your opponent's draw and activate 2 on your opponent's standby phase, still doing it before your opponent does anything. That's on top of the fact that the special summon restriction in True Kings is pretty fucking useless. I can see why it used to be limited, but the fact that they semi-limited it already shows that they're planning to unlimit it at some point, because this card doesn't make much sense on semi-limited. You still have a decent draw odds for it and all that.
Okay, so limited again?
No, I'd say unlimited. True Kings haven't done much recently, so I think they deserve a little bit of a break. And honestly, this card, I don't see much problem with it in the True King strategy. Like, its last effect for the summon, for the tribute summon, is standard shit for True King spell and trap cards. And its revival, like I said, doesn't matter much, because most of them need to be tribute summoned to have their effects anyway.
Well, that ends the ban list.
Yep. We're not covering the cards that recently got unbanned. That's kind of pointless. They're no longer have any restriction. But yeah, that was the full ban list review. What do I think of the ban list? Could use, you know, can I just write a little reasoning behind every card?
You know what I just noticed?
What?
This Discord call is telling me that it's taking place on the 1st of January 1970. So we've traveled back in time. You are now streaming on the 1st of January 1970.
I'm the first Yugi tuber. Clearly. Or Yugi streamer? No, for me it's just still January 30th, so
Yeah, but is it still 2021 in on your phone?
Yes, my phone auto syncs the date, dipstick.
My phone says it's the Saturday the 30th of January 2021, but my Discord call says it's the 1st of January 1970.
So I hope all you funky disco peeps enjoyed this. This is the ban list for 2021 for a game that has yet to exist. I was here with the always groovy Firespark 7. Anyway, join us again in 2 weeks for an actual archetype review, which is a little bit more concise than this, of course. Don't forget to do suggestions in the community Discord, which you can join. Yeah, it's I believe it's like right below the Twitch page. Just scroll down a little bit, and follow me on Twitch as well, because I stream this every other 2 weeks, and for the rest of the time I'm streaming gaming. I totally didn't almost do that today, no.
Totally no.
No, but Firespark, you really shouldn't forget about these kind of things. Come on, man. Unprofessional. Come on.
No, I totally wasn't the one who was actually preparing for it, and totally wasn't the one who was surprised when you said I'm gonna do Persona 4. No,
I never said that. You said you were gonna play Persona 4.
Yeah, sure, because I have Persona 4.
I mean, yeah, your favorite game, right?
And I'm also a streamer.
Yeah, I mean, follow Firespark7 on Twitch. He does great content. I loved your Call of Duty stuff, man. It's the greatest.
I mean, you know what's also? I think I'm gonna pop that in the Discord. Yeah, I'm gonna pop it in the Discord. I'm not gonna save here. gonna pop it in this.
Going to pop in what in the Discord? Oh my god, he's popping something.
I'm gonna do that. But first, let's end this stream.
Okay, so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the Banlist review. I've been Cactus Bandit, and I have had my lovely assistant Firespark7 here to help me review this.
Assistant?
Oh, you kind of?
I mean, fair.
You thought you were the star of this show?
No, no, I thought we were equals because we're friends.
Good joke.
You have no friends. You have assistants and servants.
And victims.
And I am all three of them.
Correct. So join again in 2 weeks when I do an archetype review and victimize Firespark7 again.
Again, yeah.
I mean, I've victimized you every time, let's be honest.
Yeah, but that's because I always watch your, or at least up until now, I have always watched your
Archetype reviews. You
archetype reviews, and I've always been one of the first to challenge you once you've made a deck with me.
Only.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, again, hope you all enjoyed, and see you all back on maybe tomorrow for Persona 4, because as you know, yeah, Firespark, I might do it tomorrow. You're also allowed to do it tomorrow when we don't have plans. Come on, man.
Well,
sorry, I have to keep blaming someone else, otherwise I seem like I'm terrible at streaming.
Well, guys, hope you enjoyed, and bye bye.
See y'all next time. Bye bye.